That's why it's important to understand that there are people in your life that may seem like they've been your friends forever, but if you look closer, you'll realize they've been sent by the enemy to destroy your purpose and to hold you back from your promotion. Hey, what's up everybody? It's Ted. It's Monday. Welcome back to another week. And today I wanted to talk to you quickly about something that has been burning up in my heart, and that is this, that there are people in your life that have been sent specifically by the enemy to destroy your purpose and your promotion and what God has called you to do. One of the most important things we could do is be discerning about what people are in our lives. The relationships that we have in our lives will make us or break us. The Bible says so many things about relationships. In fact, Paul took an entire chapter to write to a church in Greece and talk to them about the relationships that they were having in their lives and why it was going to destroy them and how to stay free from poor relationships. The same is true when we're doing what God's called us to do and trying to accomplish our purpose in life. There's a story in the book of Nehemiah where Nehemiah feels the burden in his heart to rebuild the walls of the city of his people. And when he goes, he gets permission from the king, who's his boss, to go and to begin to rebuild the walls. The people that were enemies of his people started to get nervous. When they started to see strength rise up, and when they started to see production and the walls being rebuilt in that city, those people got nervous and they got angry. And so if you read the story, they begin to plot against Nehemiah and all the workers that were rebuilding the city walls, and they came out against them. And one of the things you'll see that happened is that those men, Sanballat and Tobiah, and those men that came from the enemy nations, they called them down to try to have a meeting with them. And they tried to call them off of the wall, meaning they wanted them to stop their production, stop their purpose, stop what they had been called to do so that they could come down and talk about it. And one of the things you'll see happen in your life as you go and do what you're called to do and what you've been created to do is that there will be people who seem like they've been your friends for a long time. They've been hiding in your life, and they'll come out and you'll begin to notice that when you start to produce on another level, when you start to hustle in your calling and in your purpose, there will be people that strategically are sent into your life. Maybe they've been there for years, but they'll begin to want to talk about what you're doing. One of the first things you'll see is that they'll want to tell you, well, you need to be careful doing that, or they'll start to bring out all the negative effects of you pursuing your purpose and going all out in your calling. They'll begin, well, you got to be careful because so-and-so might be offended, or you don't want to do that because it might look like you're just trying to brown nose, or they'll come up with any excuse they can to get you to slow down and come back and stop what you're called to do. Let me tell you why they do it. Anytime you begin to produce, anytime you begin to hustle and do what God's called you to do, the fact that you're producing highlights the fact that they're not doing anything. And everything was cool and everything was comfortable as long as you weren't producing just like them. You could both be friends. You could both say, yeah, those people that are working hard, they're crazy. They're going out there trying to kill themselves to do this or that. But the moment you start producing, the moment you start creating, the moment you start having production for your purpose, now they're highlighted because a gap takes place. And you've moved way out front and you're doing things nonstop to accomplish what God's called you to do. And it shows the fact that they've been lazy, that they've been holding back, that they've been laying back. And the first thing that they should do is they should follow your example and get busy in their purpose. But rather than do that, they do what's easier, and that is to criticize you. And at first, before they fully criticize you, they like to do a camouflage criticism. You'll see this throughout your life. Camouflage criticism. What does that mean? Camouflage criticism is when somebody comes to you and they try to make it look like they're helping you by giving you advice about what you're doing in your life. They're giving you warnings, causing you to be cautious about what you're doing. Oh, this isn't the best time to start a business. You have to realize you need to look at the economy. This isn't the best time to move forward with what you're doing. If you listen to those kind of people, it will never be the right time to do what God's called you to do. I heard one speaker say it like this one time. He said you have to slap a pit bull. What does that mean? You've got to take an action that after you've done it, it causes you to run. It's a huge step of faith. Something that after you accomplish it, it causes you to have to build momentum. That's faith. That's you going after what you're called to do with everything you've got. And once you take that step of faith, you have to keep that momentum going. When you do that, you will instantly see people come out of the woodwork and begin to criticize you or try to give you advice, to caution you, to pull you back to where you were before. But you need to hear me today. You need to be discerning about those kind of people in your life. I'll finish by telling you this. It's so important to make sure that the relationships you've built and the people that are in your life are not people that are going to hold you back from doing what you're called to do, not people that are going to caution you anytime you take a step of faith, not people that are going to always say, well, is this really the right time? You need to find people that will push forward with you, and that even if you have feelings that maybe I should pull back, the people that are beside you grab you in the arm and say, no, we're going to push forward. We're not staying the same in this year. We're going to do more than we did last year. We're going to produce more than we did last year. And when you surround yourself with people like that, you'll begin to realize that we are who we hang out with. And when you surround yourself with productive people, you will become supernaturally productive yourself. That's why I want to encourage you today. Look at the relationships in your life. Are they hindering you or are they pushing you forward? If they're hindering you, it's time to maybe politely sever ties with those types of people. Doesn't mean you have to completely cut them off, but I'm not going to surround myself with people who don't believe in what I'm called to do. And find those that God has sent to you to push you forward into your purpose with force and momentum, and watch and see how much more you're able to do in your calling and in your purpose. Thanks for watching today, guys. I love you. Listen, go out today and crush it, and I'll see you again next week.